Today we're going to make grillades. They're a New Orleans special and they're traditionally served with grits. They have it for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. In any restaurant in New Orleans you can probably find grillades, and they are so easy to make and they're so good. They have all the ingredients that we love, bell peppers, onions, garlic, celery, beef. It's on our to-do list. Hi, I'm Tammy at All About Living, and welcome to our kitchen. Let's get started. And as you can see, it's pretty much what I said. It's onions, garlic, green peppers, celery, beef. These are little flat minute steaks because they're really, really inexpensive. A little bit of red wine vinegar, some beef broth, some 1 can of stewed tomatoes, some Worcestershire sauce, a little olive oil, pepper, salt, and bay leaves. Let's get into it. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is get a match. And we're going to get a medium-high flame. That's a little high. Medium-high, there we go. And we're going to set this pot here and let it get hot. 2 or 3 minutes. Alright, as you can see, I've already got my celery cut because they're frozen. I didn't have any fresh celery, but I did have some in the freezer, so I just thawed out what I would consider a stalk. And so that's that, and that's done. Now we're going to cut our onion. We're going to dice it up. Dice it up. That's what we're going to do. If I can get it to stand still. Okay, we're going to put 1.5 tablespoons of oil. Okay, and I'm going to make sure that the bottom's covered. Okay, and I'm good and sizzly in there. Okay, and I'm just going to drop these. Hear that? Drop them right in. See how thin they are? They're called minute steaks for a reason. But they are tough. Generally, minute steaks are tough. All right, let's get that in there. Okay, and I'm just going to lightly salt. Like 1/4 teaspoon of salt on all, between all of them. Pepper. And I didn't really need to do salt and pepper on both sides because they are so thin. And we're going to cook them for quite a while in the sauce. Alright, minute steak for a reason. Just flip them over. See, they're already brown. Doesn't take very long at all. And we're just going to brown both sides. And then we're going to take them out of the pan. Okay, I'm brown on both sides now, and I'm just going to take them right out of the pan. And just set them on this plate. They'll go back in later. Okay, we're going to add a couple more tablespoons of oil. And then we're going to get all those veggies in there, starting with the onions. And the magic green peppers have arrived. Now for the celery, we're just going to drop that in there too. Give all of it a go around. And let them get nice and brown. Going to get nice and brown. There you go. Alright, we're going to keep stirring and we're going to talk a little bit. If there's anything that you guys want to know or, about cooking or any recipe that you'd like to learn, just leave it down in the comments. We really want this to be like a big family, and You know, I get requests from my kids all the time, and I feel like some of y'all are my kids, and just ask away and I'll get to it. Okay, my onions are pretty and brown, and my peppers and celery's looking good. So now it's time to add that garlic, which is the part I hate because I have the worst time squeezing this thing. And it's not that it's a bad garlic press, it's just I don't have that kind of strength anymore. Yeah. Here we go. One more. See what I mean? Done. Let me make sure I got it all out of there though. I don't waste it. I go ahead and take those little pieces out. No point in throwing it away. Okay, garlic's in, and we just want to leave that garlic until it's fragrant. When you smell it and it's coming up in the air, then you know your garlic is ready, and you can add your can of tomatoes. We're going to get those tomatoes in now. We're just going to drop them right out of that can. Hear that? That is your pan deglazing. It's pulling all that goodness up off the bottom. Now go ahead and mash up, not mash, but go ahead and break up your tomatoes, because you really either need to use stewed tomatoes or plum tomatoes for this recipe. I've got all my tomatoes as small as I want them now. I'm going to add 1 cup. I'm going to add 1 cup of beef broth. And 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. And I will not salt and pepper until the end. And I find out if I really need it or not. Okay, now at this time, we're going to add those minute steaks right back to the pan. We're going to turn that down to low, and we're going to let it simmer for 30 to 40 minutes. With the lid. Now we'll get started on our grits.
You're on.
Okay. We're going to get those grits started. I'm going to do a medium-high flame to get them started. And we're going to use the yellow corn grits. These are my favorite. I love yellow grits. What we're going to do is we're only going to need 1/2 cup, because it's just Randy and I. Now, you know, if you're feeding a family of 4, then you need a whole cup of grits. But I need 1/2 cup of grits. 2 whole cups of water, which means if you're making the whole cup of grits, you need 4 cups of water. You need about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And you're going to let that slowly come to a boil with the lid on it. Just like that. Oh, one more thing. Y'all know I always got to forget something. I need some bay leaves in my sauce. So we're just going to tuck those in just like that. It's set, you know, normally it's 2 bay leaves, but I'm down to the bottom now, and they're kind of like broken and in pieces. So I put 4 pieces of leaves in here. But if you have whole, you know, nice size whole bay leaves, just 2. Okay, I'm up to a boil now. I'm about to boil over. Now I'm just going to get in there and I'm going to stir with my smaller spurtle. I'm just going to stir for about, I don't know, 3-4 minutes till it starts to get thick. Then we'll put the lid back on and turn it down on low and let it finish cooking, because the way to cook real grits is low and slow. It's not the same as 5-minute grits. If you have 5-minute grits, then that's pretty much what it is. You cook them for 5 minutes and they're done because they're already parboiled or whatever it is they do to them. But real old-fashioned grits, good old-fashioned southern grits, take about 20 minutes, a good 20 minutes to cook. And sometimes you have to add a little more water. Okay, and make sure you keep stirring because it'll pop out, you know, it'll pop out all over your stove if you don't. You just keep stirring, and it's getting thicker now. Now we're going to turn that oven, or turn the stove way down low. They need to simmer and cook some more of that water out. And we're just going to get that lid on there now. See, it stopped heavy boiling or heavy bubbling. It's just softly bubbling. Now we're going to put that lid on it and keep an eye on it for about 10 minutes. If it's not done in that 10 minutes, we'll add some more water and we'll stir it again. Okay, I'm about 15 minutes in now, and I'm just checking, make sure I'm not sticking, and I'm not, so we're good. Put the lid back on it, and let it keep simmering. We are going to check our grits. They need to be creamy, and soft, and just like that. Now, I did taste them, and they do need just a little bit more salt. But you know, salt's all relative. That depends on you. But I like my grits with a little bit of salt. So I'm going to put some more. Whoa, see, good thing I did it in my hand. Because I just want like another 1/4 of a teaspoon. There we go. Get that mixed. And now we're going to turn this eye off because it's all nice and done. I'm going to put that lid back on it. And wait for our grillades. Okay, I'm about 10 minutes out from it being done. So I'm going to take this lid off. And I'm going to let that sauce reduce just by letting steam out and letting some of that water come out. And then we'll be all ready to serve our grillades. Okay, now we're down to the last 5 minutes of cooking time. You want to take that red wine vinegar, get 1 tablespoon, drop that all around your pan, and then just let it keep simmering for another 5 minutes. We're just moving it around just a little bit to incorporate that red wine vinegar. Okay, we're going to get this plate ready. Randy is beside himself. He is starving. We didn't get lunch today because we were busy and just didn't stop. We had a lot of traps to get done. We just didn't get it done, so he's hungry. Let's get us some grits. Look at them, so beautiful yellow grits. I love yellow grits. We're gonna put a little well in the middle. And you can't have southern grits without a little bit of butter. So we're gonna put a little teaspoon of butter in there. And that is ready. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We're gonna go inside and eat, and we're gonna have some Rocky Road freeze. Good night. It's up there in the La La Land.